Hi, it's me again, Heat Boy. And today, I'm not gonna be cringe. Hopefully. But anyways, I'm gonna be doing something a bit different. Because I'm gonna be talking about video games. It's not actually gonna be video games. It's gonna be like video game consoles. But more specifically, Nintendo consoles in the past 21 years. Why not 20? Because it's 2021, and I want it to start in the year 2000! Anyways, Nintendo has been decently good with their consoles, unlike their community, am I right? But that calls for another video. If I do have all the time in the world, I would be able to talk about all the consoles and video games in the past 21 years. But I don't, and also I don't want to animate that much, so I only chose one company, and that is Nintendo. So, let's jump right into it. So it's the year 2000. Nothing happens. It's the year 2001. Something happens. Nintendo releases two consoles, and they are the Game Boy Advance SP and the GameCube. The Game Boy Advance SP was a clamshell handheld console, which was basically the original Game Boy Advance, but smaller. But the Game Boy Advance is out of the 2000s, so I am out of the clear to animate it. So, yeah, there really isn't that much to talk about it, so let's move on to the next one, GameCube. But it does get a 3 out of 10. Fine, but just repeated its predecessor. The GameCube. The GameCube was a forgotten gem. It came after the PS2 and the original Xbox. Both beasts in the video game market, and basically everyone already had one. The GameCube came much later, meaning that not many people wanted it. Not because it was bad by any means, but people already had a console, and they didn't want to waste money on a new one. But for the people who did get a GameCube, went on for a wild ride. Smooth 3D graphics with no polygons, unlike the PS2 and Xbox, which both had some polygonal looks. GameCube had much smoother graphics because it had the tech to make it good, unlike the PS2 and Xbox, which came out much later, but had to deal with the older stuff. Older tech, So, the GameCube had, everything to make it good. And all that tech fit into one weird-looking cube with a handle. It looked weird, and it was unconventional because it was like a cube. But it was decently small. The GameCube had so many new games. Luigi's Mansion, Mario Sunshine, and Super Smash Bros. Melee, and etc., etc. But since the GameCube didn't have much of a chance to sell, it died out fairly quickly. But Nintendo did what they haven't done in a while, making a home console. A solid 6 out of 10 in my book. Next on our list is the Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS had lots of designs, so I'm only going to be talking about the original one. The Nintendo DS was released in 2004, and this is the game console that set up the future of Nintendo. The Nintendo DS is a handheld console, much like the Game Boy Advance SP. It had a clamshell design with a multi-compatible game insert, just like the GameCube SP. It could use past Nintendo Game Boy games and the new DS games. The DS games were much smoother, and instead of 2D pixels, they chose to do it in 3D pixels. 3D on a handheld system was crazy and amazing at the time, but it had to look very polygony. It could also do 2D, which was still pretty good. The DS ran at optimal speeds with great advertisement campaigns, so they were able to sell so many DSs. The DS gets a pretty nice 8 out of 10. It changed many things, and it changed how Nintendo makes their consoles. 2 years later, a smash hit arrives. In 2006, the Nintendo Wii was released. The Nintendo Wii has everything you could ask for. Tired of wired controllers? Boom! Literally no wires other than the upgrades you could get it with. Want to get fit while playing video games? Well, you'll be damned, because a game that is shipped with it is Wii Sports. The console had everything. The price of it was around $220 in American, which was really cheap back then because the biggest competitors at the time were the PS3, which retailed for about over $500, and the Xbox 360, which made it about $300, making it a must pick. The Wii was amazing, made so many new games, which made more new games and basically evolved it, kind of. And it was everything you could ask for. This deserves a great 9 out of 10. Oh, goodness me, I'm running out of budget. Better finish this. Okay, the next up is the 3DS, my first ever Nintendo console, and it came out in 2011. It's basically the DS, but better in many ways. Better graphics, a new 3D model, which makes the stuff 3D-ish? I don't know. A camera and, more things, I guess. It's a solid console, 7 out of 10. Almost got that part, but didn't make it. Whew, my gosh. It was so good, but it just had to remove cross-compatibility. It's bad. It's bad. Alright, let's see what's next. Oh, not you! Not you again, not you! The Wii U, also known as Hellspawn, is a terrible console born in the year 2012. But we need to know why it's terrible, so we need to know how they made it. Add the Nintendo place of making terrible creations. Yes, people like our consoles and like our handhelds. Put them together, maybe I'll make something delicious. Oh, okay, so that's how they made it. But the product they thought it was gonna be was terrible. So many horrible games like Animal Crossing, the board game, and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and oh my gosh, Mario Party 10. Not to mention the gamepad. The gamepad was terrible as well. The entire console surrounded the fact that there was a gamepad, and that had a screen in the controller, which could have been the console. That could have been good, but they had to add the home console. Basically, they said you could carry it everywhere and play it, but you need to be in a certain area to play it in. And that area was surrounding the home console, which needed so many wires. So if you wanted to play this on mobile, you would have to lob around 2 pieces of junk just to play bad games. But I'm getting too far for myself into the Wii U. All you really need to know about it is that it's garbage. 0 out of 10. Nothing will change my mind. Oh, but the Nintendo Switch, on the other hand. Oh ho ho! This is basically the better version of the Wii U, and the Wii U wanted to be it, and then they just injected it with steroids. I'm only going to be talking about the OG Nintendo Switch, and not the Lite version, because, come on, they're basically the same console. The Nintendo Switch released in 2017, and was a heckin' beast, dude! The Nintendo Switch is basically split into 3 parts: the controller, the screen, and the dock, which could all be put together to make one super console. The controllers are known as the Joy-Cons, and they are able to be attached to the console to charge or to play it on. You can attach the controller to play on the Switch, but you can also take it off to play without being attached to the console. This allowed some games to include movement and stuff to their games. The controller had a lot of cool stuff in them. They had HD Rumble to immerse you into the real game. Not the real game, but I mean, it'll just immerse you into the game. They had a camera, which was, really only for one thing they made, and a bunch of other stuff. The downfall for the controllers are that they're incredibly small, like itsy-bitsy babies, but still playable. But the worst of it's called the Joy-Con Drift. Basically, it would mean that the controllers would input movement even though you're not doing it. This causes so many annoying interruptions of your game. This has happened to me, and it's not fun. But it's fine. Next up is the console, which is pretty cool. It has a screen built into it. Well, yeah, you can play it everywhere you go now. No cross-compatibility with 3DS games, though pretty sad. It would make sense to do that. But it could also be put into the dock, which transfers your Switch to a TV. That is awesome. Being able to play on a small screen, then into a humongous TV is amazing. It, deserves a 10 out of 10, but the only thing that's holding it back is the controllers, which sends it down to a 9 out of 10. But, if you get the Pro Controller, it just makes everything better. Then it turns into a 10 out of 10. Nintendo had a crazy 21 years, with some ups and some downs, but it was still a pretty good 21 years for them. Okay, come on, Nintendo, you just had to create the Wii U. Thank you for watching this, and I hope you have an amazing everything. Bye for now. And I also hit over 5 subscribers. Woo! Yeah, cool. Okay. See you guys. That was really okay.